Did you know that women find 80% of men as unattractive?
I didn't know that.
So have you ever heard the girl say like medium ugly? Like, oh, I gave him a chance. He was medium ugly.
I say cute ugly. Yeah.
It's like, no, sis, that was just your level. Because women find 80% of men as unattractive. And the question is, if you find a guy attractive, he's probably the top 20% of men. Are you top 20% of women? And that's what we have nowadays. And you can get this data from dating apps because women only swipe right between 5 and like 20% of the time. And if you ask 100% of women what they want in a man, they list 20% of men.
There's this statistic, right? And the first time I heard it, I believe it was from Brother Kevin Samuels. And it says something like the far majority, if not close to all of women, or in search of or attracted to pretty much just anywhere between 5 and 20% of the male population. And the first time I heard that, man, I really didn't think much of it. But here lately, I've heard it twice over the last couple of weeks on different podcasts and kind of just hearing men and women kind of go in on the topic. And I've been thinking about it more, brothers. And I said, man, it's time that we start helping our 80% of brothers, man. Like there are a large percentage of men that just really need to understand how the female mind works, how female nature really works to get themselves out of this position. Because I'm telling you, brothers, it's easy for us to say, man, them brothers just need to, focus on what they need to do, man, and let that stuff play out. It's easy, in other words, you understand that. I understand that. But 80% of men have no idea, how to move in that energy, bro. Have no idea how to move in that energy. And it's easy for us to say, you know what, man, like, man, just go monk mode. I always say, brothers, find that solitude. But man, I'm going to tell you this. It's very hard. It's extremely difficult to go into this solitude, man. In other words, it's easy to say, you know what? I'm going to cut women off, man. I'm going to cut women off for a while, man, and just get in my zone. That's easier said than trying to go into this zone and nobody's checking for you. Think about that, brothers. Nobody's in your DM. When you go to the grocery store, man, no woman is batting her eyes at you. When you're out in public, when you're at the restaurant, right? No woman is saying, hey, brother, what's that you wearing? You smell good. Nobody's giving you that kind of energy. You talk about going to your own world. It's hard, brothers. So I understand, man. So today, brothers, it's all about finding the cure for the 80% of undesired men, right? It's all about finding the cure for 80% of undesired men. Now, before we dive into it, man, I have to show love to today's sponsor, Tej Hanley, right? Because it's all about, before you even start moving in this direction, before you even start understanding what we're talking about, brothers, the first thing you have to have is self-love. One of the main things that's going to attract more women to you is having that self-love. In other words, when I start saying, you know what, man, I want to live to be 100 years old. When I start saying that and started trying to take my health more serious, hit the gym a few days a week. When I started eating more fruits and vegetables, brothers, I began to evolve. When I began to look at my appearance and say, man, let me buy me a new pair of shoes. Let me buy me a new belt, man. Let me just show some love to myself. Things begin to happen, brothers. But when I started showing love to myself as far as taking care of my skin, brothers, it was game changing. And that's why I'm excited to have Tej Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. They have helped me start and maintain my skincare routine by making the entire process uncomplicated. Honestly, it's the best skincare system for guys like us. I recommend you start with their level 1 system, which comes with all the basics. A daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. A 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun. And a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. My favorite part about Tej Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you how to use each product, how much to use, and in what order to use it. They really make the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin easy. I've been using her products for a little while now, and I'll be honest, brothers, I'm hooked. It might sound a little weird, but I look forward to my morning routines. I look forward to my evening routines because every time I just feel that much more amazing after using their products. In addition to the amazing skin, members of Tiege Hanley get tons of benefits, including 1, at least 20% off the retail price, 2, the ability to customize your box, 3, the ability to pause or cancel at any time, and 4, free shipping if you're in the US, even low-cost shipping to most other countries. I'm telling you, brothers, I am a believer now. This is one product that I will not go without. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click the first link in the description box and you'll get 30% off of your first box, plus a free gift. Don't miss out on this amazing deal. Click that link and get started today. Now let's be clear about something, brothers. When it comes to taking yourself out of the 80 percentile and putting yourself in the top 20, you have to understand something, man. Like it really has nothing to do with in other words, you would automatically think that this pertains to all guys that are 6'7" and 6-packs and drive Lamborghinis and live in the Hamptons and all. You would think that, man. You have to understand that the 20% of men that women are attracted to come in all shapes and sizes, man. All financial levels, all weight classes, all heights. You understand that when you're talking about the 20% of men, man, like those things aren't as irrelevant as it is more about the internal factors of a man. And today, brothers, we're going to cover the top 3 things, man. So the first thing, brothers, the first thing to take yourself out of that 80% of undesired men is to, I'll say, keep your eyes on the prize. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the thing. This is what I mean. Like I'm telling you, bro, like it's easy to get lost in this world, especially the way the world is made up today. With social media, man, I mean, to look at the gram is almost like, back in the days having the hub, man. Like women are everywhere, bro. You go to the grocery store, man. I'm telling you, if you went to a grocery store in 1985 as opposed to today, it's dating like a strip club. Ass is everywhere. Boobs are everywhere. Who needs the hub when you can just go to Walmart? We can just go to Kroger's. And I'm telling you, man, if you're a brother and you don't have women really checking for you, it's easy. It's hard when you step out in the world and you're seeing this and not to lose focus. And not to say, man, you know what? I just want a piece of that action, man. I just want women to check for me. So every time you're out, man, all you're doing is looking at women, craving women, desiring women. But I'm telling you, brothers, to keep your eyes on the prize. This is how you begin to come out of this thing, man. And when I say keep your eyes on the prize, I'm specifically talking about keep your eyes on the future version of you. Keep your eyes on the future version of you. In other words, if you're more fit, if you're more intelligent, if you're more financially, whatever it is, whatever the future version of you is, keep your eyes on that. Because you have to understand this is what's going to draw women. This is what's going to draw women in, man. I'm going to tell you this, bro. And what I'm saying is really what you're doing is you're taking women off the pedestal. You're taking a woman off the pedestal, man. You're putting yourself first. This does so much to the internal workings of a woman, man. Because you got to understand, when a lot of these men are putting women on the pedestal and I want to drink your bath water and all that type energy, women love that energy for about 5 minutes. But after about 5 minutes, man, that energy really serves a woman no purpose, man. When she's looking for a man to be a provider, protector, when she's looking for a man to be a leader, to be a husband, but that's not a trait she wants. She doesn't want a man to put her on a pedestal. What kind of man can lead? What kind of man can navigate through this life if his woman is the carrot hanging on the rope in his life? So, brother, focus on your goals, man, because that shows a woman first off, man, that you're a man that when you're focused, you can't be distracted. You're living your life with blinders on, man. This says so much about you as a man. Just focusing on your future self. You have to live your lives, brother, as if, you know what? If I never have a woman in my life, if I never procreate to have children and a beautiful family, I'm going to be good. Because me focusing on my end goal, me focusing on my prize is my everything. And once a woman comes on your team, if she becomes your wife, if she becomes, if she procreates with you and y'all have children, she still wants you in that energy. She still wants you in that focused on the prize energy, man. So I'm telling you this, man, a lot of you brothers that are putting women on a pedestal, even if it's on a subconscious level. Man, I see some of y'all brothers making content on the ground. Y'all like, brothers, women need to be, y'all are so, I'm like, man, y'all just don't understand. Y'all are sitting there trying to co-sign for women and can't get none. But y'all have it so confused, man. You're trying to say, don't do this to women and da-da-da-da-da. It's like, bro, I understand what you're saying, but you have to understand the way you're looking is you're putting women on a pedestal. Instead of just saying, you know what, this is who I am, this is where I'm going, and this is what I'm doing. Keep your eyes on the prize, bro. That's the first thing you need to do to get yourself out of that 80% class, bro. Because I'm going to tell you this. When you see them brothers, and man, it disgusts me when I see it. You can see a baddie, man, or you can just see, a solid sister post something on the ground, and you'll see some brother coming in a comment with some superhero comment. Just got his whole cape and rubber boots on, bro. And he's just bathing her in honey and milk, bro. He just pouring it on thick. And you'll notice sisters don't even respond to that. You'll have a whole Soul Train list of brothers responding to sisters like that. Brother, that's the way to get yourself trapped in the 80%, right? So the first thing, man, is to keep your eyes on the prize, which is the future version of you. Now, the second thing, brothers, as far as getting yourself out of the 80 percentile of undesired men is never cross the gun line. Never cross the gun line. And I like this one, brother, because I'm always learning from it. Never cross the gun line. And when I say never cross the gun line, brother, what I'm really saying is never shoot your shot. And I've said this a number of times, man. I'm not saying you can't jump in a woman's DM and chop it up. I'm not saying if you see a woman at a restaurant, you can't walk up to her and start engaging in conversation. You're a man. That's what you're supposed to do. But you're always supposed to put yourself in position for her to shoot her shot before you pull your jumper, bro. In other words, let me break it down a little different. You have to understand this, man. Anytime you're engaging with a woman, whether you hop in the DMs, whether you see her in public, you have to imagine in your mind that there's an imaginary line on the ground between you and her, right? There's an imaginary dotted line that nobody can see, but we both know it's there. And what that line represents is once you cross that line, that's saying, you know what? I'm interested in you and I want you in my life. I'm interested in you and I want you in my life. Brothers, I'm telling you, never cross that line. Never cross that line before she actually pulls a shot or before she actually lets you know that she's interested like that. Because once you do, brothers, it's over. What you're supposed to do, man, is toe that line. Get to that line, man. Spit your spiel. Be the man that you are. Talk your stuff. Have engaging conversation. But never cross that line and say, you know what? I'm into you and I want you to be my girlfriend type energy before she either crosses it or before she says, you know what? I want you to cross that line. Never do it, bro. I'm going to tell you this, man. I lived to be 46 years and every single time I've crossed that line first, it never went well. There's been women, bro, that I knew. I said, you know what, man? Like if I want to holler at sister, I think I can get sister, man. Like I'm a firm believer that I can shoot my shot and get that. And I've told that line, brother, and crossed it beforehand, and really talked myself out of a deal that I could have easily inked. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, it works on the internal workings of a woman. Because you got to understand, man, when you cross that line before she does, you got to understand in her mind, in her heart, she's saying, you know what? Maybe this brother is not my league. Like maybe I should have swung for the fence a little bit harder. Because women, contrary to popular belief, women want to chase a man a little bit. Women want a man to be a little bit hard to get, man. Because if he's not, first off, it's saying that any woman can get him. And like I said a second ago, it's saying, you know what? Maybe I'm in the wrong jurisdiction. Maybe I should be sitting in better seats trying to get me in. So brothers, never cross that gun line first. Never cross that gun line first, man. And the thing is, and it's hard when you're in a position where you don't really have a lot of women checking for you. It's kind of hard. But you have to put yourself in a mindset, brothers, that when you meet a woman, even if she's bad, even if she's a woman that you like, you know what? I can see myself spending time with this woman. Maybe even having a long life with this woman. Brother, you have to be in this abundant energy where you're saying, you know what? I don't know this woman from a can of paint. Let me just engage in this woman's energy for a minute. Like I might not even want to ask her for her number. I might not even want to ask her for her Instagram. Let me just sit here and see what she's about. Let me just ask her a few questions, just as if I'm just trying to get to know her. Not like, oh, baby, I can't live without you type energy. You're pushing her away, man. So be able to meet women, be able to meet a woman and strictly be friends with her if that's all it pans out to be. Because that's putting out a whole different energy, bro. That's putting out a whole different energy, man. But by all means, never cross that line, man. Never cross that line. Never cross that line or automatically you're going to have a long laundry list of women that you were into, but no one ever was willing to ink the deal with you, bro. That's going to keep you in the 80th percentile of undesired men. I'm telling you, man. It's going to keep you in the 80th percentile of undesired men. And the third one, brothers, it's quite simple, man, but a lot of men simply still don't get it, right? The third one is to always be unapologetically masculine. Always be unapologetically masculine. What do you mean, soul? What I mean, brothers, is just like a lot of women grew up with this Disney fairy tale type storybook mentality on the way the world and relationships and marriage and happily ever after is supposed to pan out. A lot of you brothers, you know, or almost on the same page as them when it comes to that, man. In other words, society, television, media, in a lot of cases, our parents, you know, have taught us that, hey, you know what? When you're engaging a woman or approaching a woman, you're supposed to be this distinguished gentleman. You don't want to, you want to come at her a certain way. You want to be able to present your virtual flowers through your verbiage. Bro, I'm telling you, don't move like that, man. It's not even attractive to a woman when a man moves too much in that energy. So much in that energy where he's robbing himself of his true self, his true nature. Brother, when you approach a woman, man, just be yourself. Just be yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you want to say a certain thing, if you want to compliment something, just compliment it. If you want to be a certain way, if you want to use certain words, use those words. Like stop compromising who you are. If when you talk, you use certain curse words to express yourself, then do that. Don't suppress that part of yourself because you're like, you know what? I'm going to offend this young lady's. I'm going to offend her. If you think she got a fat ass and you want to tell her like, damn, like yeah, you winning. You got a little something back there. Tell her that. If you have fetishes, tell her, you know what? I'm into this. Like, I like this part of you. I'm into you. And I'm not just talking about, I'm just not talking about, you meeting a woman. I'm talking about as you get to know a woman. Don't suppress that masculinity in yourself, man. Stop suppressing. If you want to walk by and smack her on the ass as you're getting to know a woman, do that, man. Because even though society is saying, no, you're supposed to conduct yourself like this, and all these things that keep men, in a little box, brother, when a man comes her way and he's like, you know what, I'm unapologetically masculine, he stands out. Not only does he stand out, he begins to speak to something deep inside of her. That animalistic caveman energy we live from sometimes, it begins to speak to that cave woman part of her, man. And I'm telling you, this is something that 80% of men don't understand. They don't live in this energy, man, because they're just trying to walk a tight rope. They're too scared to lose her. They're saying if I say a certain thing, if I do a certain thing, if I touch her a certain way, if I compliment a certain part of her body, I'm gonna lose her. Or a masculine man is saying, no, bro, like, no, I'm just being me. If at some point in time she decides to do something else, then that's just what she decides to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? So brothers, man, understand, man, that if you're in this 80 percentile group of men, like I can identify with you, man. There was about 6 months in my life where I spent time in that arena. About 6 months of my life, I was in this phase of like, bro, ain't nobody checking for me. Like, I can't deal. And I was shooting it got to the point where I was shooting at some low numbers, man. I was like, bro, I'm just trying to see if this thing still works. And nobody was checking, bro. So I'm understanding what it must feel like as a man to be in that. I know what it feels like. And I'm telling you, bro, it's just a matter of you. It's just a matter of you, like I always say, walking in your I am and understanding who you are. Understanding that deepest part of yourself and moving in it, brothers. Brothers, don't forget to click the Tej Hanley link in the description box and get 30% off of your first box plus a free gift. How copy?